Apple is adding photo scanning features to their newest mobile devices. You might be wondering why Apple wants to scan your photos. Apple's new iPhone facial recognition system is an impressive innovation. But how much privacy are we willing to give up for the sake of convenience? And how much do we know about this powerful company? How essential is privacy to you? Is it ever acceptable for massive companies to snoop around in our personal files? These are the perplexing issues. Apple is now debating whether to push out a contentious, some would say dystopian, wrath of beefed-up privacy protections in its next iOS version. What level of concern should you have? To what degree is on the verge of becoming an all-powerful judge of what is good and bad? Can or should anything be done to halt this trend? Join us now as we peel back the curtain and investigate why Apple is surreptitiously scanning your pictures. Apple likes to portray itself as the only major technology company that really cares about your privacy. In contrast to, say, Google or Facebook, whose whole business strategy is based on siphoning your valuable data in order to make a quick profit. Instead, Apple supporters are encouraged to feel smug about the fact that their data is never used to generate an endless flow of ads, which is why Apple's newest move has prompted many self-styled liberty advocates to cry out. So what is the purpose of the latest announcement as part of an industry-wide effort to eradicate harmful under-the-table practices? Online Apple's next iOS version will enable it to compare private photos saved on iPhones, iPads, and Macs devices to a visual database of known child abuse materials, additionally referred to as CSM. The goal is to identify child abusers who are currently abusing children and have been exploiting them for a lengthy period of time. The Internet's anonymity is a method of disseminating SEM's heinous and harmful content. If an iPhone picture is compared to a known photograph of abuse, the user's account will be suspended and reported to police authorities. The majority of individuals are probably perfectly capable of recognizing dangerous, active child molesters and reporting them to the appropriate authorities. However, the key issue is how they are recognized and whether or not that system is ripe for exploitation. Here's Apple's answer straight from the horse's mouth. Reads as follows. Before a picture is saved in iCloud Photographs, an on-device matching procedure is conducted against an unreadable set of known CSAM hashes. This matching process is facilitated by a cryptographic technique known as private set intersection, which assesses if there is a without disclosing the outcome. Intersection of private sets PSI enables Apple to determine if an image hash matches one of the known CSAM image hashes without having to learn about image hashes that do not match. Additionally, PSI hinders the user from discovering if a match occurred. In this instance, hashing refers to the cryptographic technique of converting pictures to unique numerical sequences. By the way, this is the same technique that YouTube uses to detect music infringement automatically. Thus, it is not surprising that Apple has dubbed their newest advancement in hashing technology Neural Hash. At the very least, Neural Hash Inferior can not only match pictures to an existing database of CSAM images, but can also detect any clever workarounds employed by abusers to attempt to cheat the S. For example, if bad actors crop, rotate, or otherwise manipulate the offending images in order to avoid detection. Another cryptographic principle called threshold secret sharing comes into play, which means that if a certain undisclosed number of matches are flagged up automatically by neural hashes, the images can be decrypted and potentially escalated to a manual human checker. To summarize, a state-authorized database of known harmful pictures is encrypted and stored in a hashing database. The pictures on your iPhone are similarly encrypted and their hashes are compared to that database in order to find a match. This is all done automatically, with no human involvement required at this point. In any case, if a certain number of those hashes match, the problematic images are marked as possibly harmful and then submitted for verification. While hashing methods are far from perfect, the YouTube music piracy algorithm, for example, often generates false positives. It is far from a stretch to assert that Apple or anybody else is snooping uninvited on your private photographs. According to Apple, the possibility of a false positive arising after all necessary procedures have been taken. This method was developed in cooperation with a renowned cryptographer at Stanford University. Dan Bonnet is about 1 in a trillion real matches when there is a valid reason to be concerned are escalated to the national level, namely for missing and abused children. A tax-exempt organization that maintains a single repository for CSM investigations and collaborates closely with law enforcement. Initially, the deployment will be limited to the United States. Apple is at pains to stress out that the new procedure will apply only to pictures saved in iCloud Photos, not to those stored locally on devices. While you may own the phone, you most definitely do not own the cloud. As a result, various regulations apply. Additionally, Apple is releasing new safety measures intended at assisting minors who use iMessage in being safe from internet predators by rapidly detecting potentially inappropriate pictures as they are sent and alerting parents. Children's protection is a critical duty. According to the firm, these steps have been widely appreciated by leaders in the field of child safety. John Clark, president and CEO of the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, lauded Apple's new safeguards. A paradigm shifter. Additionally, privacy and kid protection are compatible. We congratulate Apple and look forward to collaborating to make the world a safer place for children. Cryptography's top brass are equally pleased. Apple's method protects privacy better than any other, according to David Forey, head of computer science at the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, Faculty of Engineering. I am aware that, in my opinion, this system will likely expand substantially. Because visual derivatives are disclosed only if there are enough matches to known CSAM images and only for the photos that match known CSAM images, users should suffer little to no loss of privacy. However, many people have raised concerns online. This is a typical case of a slippery slope since it is officially a government agency, not Apple, that determines which pictures are legitimate and which are not. The potential for abuse is clear. We can all agree on that. While children need protection, what if this infrastructure is exploited in the future by evil actors to detect, for example, political activity or encounters with friends or relatives that the state already considers a threat? Clearly, the government is in control of these problems. Last year, Apple offered to encrypt users' data and complete phone backups to iCloud, but the FBI intervened, saying that doing so would jeopardize investigations against child abusers and other criminal acts. Many might argue that the goals warrant the methods, but do they? Once again, we ask how essential privacy is to you.